That's all I got. I was going to do something really clever, but I got nothing. Okay. Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben.
And I'm Kay.
And today we are reviewing Netflix's original series, Locke Key.
Based on the best-selling graphic novels, Locke Key follows three siblings who, after the murder of their father, move to their ancestral home, only to find the house has magical keys that give them a vast array of powers and ability.
Okay, firstly, I should just apologise. We should call this, like you said, the flu review. We're both pretty ill, so if you're hearing us very nasally congested, Kirsten has a cold and I have a man cold. So if I'm not here next week, Kirsten can carry on, because we all know how deadly the man cold is. Locke Key, there's 10 episodes. They're about 45 minutes to 50 minutes long, kind of standard for a Netflix series. It's not one of the shorter series. 10 episodes, I feel, is probably a decent length, although it does dip in the middle where it feels like it drags a bit. So this series is based on a series of graphic novels, and so if you're a diehard fan, you'll probably obviously pick up things, because it's always really hard to adapt or put everything from graphic novel into I guess a series like this. I do think that the young actors, where the story focuses on, they're very good at what they do, apart from the young kid, who's occasionally just young kid, which is not his fault. But I think the teenagers on a whole, even the kids in the teenagey angst ratio, you know, those ones that you get those dramas between the love triangles that always happen in this type of story, always they do a good job with it. And one thing I have to say for a positive for this series, I don't feel like there's anything thrust in our faces with where we are in society, with equalization of everybody has to identify as something. In this series, I'm treading on very thin ground here.
Yes, you are.
In this series,
feeling triggered.
I felt like everybody's just who they are.
Which is great.
So there's nothing forced on you. I don't normally get uppity and, triggered.
I did watch the trailer for this, quite a long time ago, before I actually watched the series. And then I watched the trailer after having watched the series. Don't watch the trailer, because it basically takes, all of the best bits and all of the spoilers from the entire series and sticks them into 2 minutes and goes, this is everything that's gonna happen. And thankfully, if you haven't seen it and you haven't read the graphic novels, you kind of don't recognize what you're seeing when you see the trailer. But if you don't want spoilers, don't watch the trailer.
Welcome to Key House.
I really enjoyed it. We didn't watch it as a binge.
Yeah.
We actually spread it out over several days, which is kind of unusual for us, because normally we sit down and we're like, snacks ready, tea ready, let's go, let's just do this. But it felt like it was one that needed to have a little bit of space in between some of the episodes, and that maybe made us enjoy it more, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of story to digest and think about what the characters are doing. The thing I think that works and doesn't work for this is that, for me, the most fun I had with the story is when the family finds a key. You want to know what it does. At the same time, I felt it very frustrated at what the kids did with the key, because the options for what you can do with a key with certain abilities, and I'm not going to ruin that for you, but immediately, even my son watched some of the episodes with us, and he was like, they're not using the keys to the best of their abilities, man. And I felt the same way when watching that. There's so much you can do with it. And I felt like sometimes kids would experiment more.
Maybe.
They didn't do much experimentation, but that's because the story is going the way it is, and they have a villain to contend with.
I thought that the special effects were really good. I enjoyed them. I didn't feel like that at any point that they take me out of the storytelling. And sometimes when you have CGI, you know that it's CGI, and you're like, whoa, that makes me feel like I'm, ooh, I know I'm watching something that's not real. But actually, it kind of worked in this, I think. It worked quite well. We really enjoyed and appreciated the score. Of this, the sound effects and the score and the atmosphere that it created. And sometimes they used music with lyrics, which was really, it actually added to the content of what you were watching and to the emotional feel of it. And I thought that was really well done. Right towards the end, though, there was a shoveling, not just a spoon feeding, but like a shoveling of like, this is everything that's happened and we're revealing it now. And you're like, yeah, I know. I watched it. I was there. I understand what's happening right now. And it's like, they're just like shoveling, just in case you didn't get it.
And that's not the first time they're shoveling in the series.
No,
so
there
they
is
do these
some
little
shoveling.
bits. I feel like they're wondering if the core demographic is going to be quite large, so they're trying to cover their bases just in case people don't get what's happening.
Yeah.
I think maybe they should give us a bit more benefit of the doubt that
give
we're
us some credit.
actually half intelligent. I did really enjoy it. I think it's fun. It pulls from, if I were to compare it to other series and films, I would say A House with a Clock in the Walls.
Yeah.
Taking a bit of The Ring, because it lends itself to horror, and I do wish it went more towards the horror. I think it would have been quite unique and different had it teetered more towards the horror at times, because when it did get there, when there were creepy moments, it was creepy. Had they just continued with that a bit more, I think it would have been something very unique and different. But that's not to say I didn't enjoy those moments. I think it was great, and it does pull from a lot of those places where a bunch of people go to a house and creepy things happen, and then you've got to survive it. It does feel a bit like House on Haunted Hill. There are things that go around it, and when it gets into the fantasy element, it's really fun, and I enjoyed it that way. There weren't actually that many negatives. It's obviously not a perfect series. It has some flaws, but on a whole, the way it's edited, the way it looks, the way it sounds, the acting is very good. I do feel like some of the adults in this were quite well-known actors, and they're very underutilized, but that's mostly because the story focuses on the kids, as it rightly should for this. It works for that, but you'll notice that there are a few quite actors that you've seen in many things before, and they're barely around. Which is okay. It's not a like, oh, this is terrible now because of that. No, it's still very good. I enjoyed it. I do wonder if you've read the graphic novels. I do wonder, once you've seen it, let us know how it compares. And how much of the actual content that they've put in this series. I think it's fun. I'm interested to see what it looks in the final product, because we got sent screeners that there were a few episodes that weren't final, and we didn't have any issues with those. So I do wonder what they're going to change. Chat to us in the comments below. Let us know what you thought about the series, or if you're really excited to see it. Thanks so much for listening to us ramble and do a sort of review talk about the series that we've enjoyed. And through our cold.
Sorry about that.
Thanks so much for watching this review, but most of all, until next time, remember,
live long and Tuesday. Aloha.
Oh yes. Aloha.